plasma membranes. So in last class we discussed the function of the plasma membrane. Function of the plasma membrane. Shape, the continuity, osmosis, selective permeable membranes, semi-permeable membranes, and transportation of materials, impermeable, what is permeable, what is selective permeable, what is semi-permeable, we discussed. We also did one activity like keeping the raw egg in dilute HCl. So what happens when we keep that raw egg in the tap waters, when we keep that raw egg in the dilute HCl or saturated solution, what happens? We discussed. What is osmosis? The molecules move from always low concentration to the high concentrations. We also discussed what is exosmosis. What is endosmosis? The process the molecules enter into the cell is called endosmosis, and the process the water molecules leave from the cell is called exosmosis. In today's class, one more lab activity is there that is very, very important. Preparing the semi-permeable membrane. Preparing semi-permeable membrane. How we can prepare a semi-permeable membrane? What is semi-permeable in yesterday class? We discussed that. What is selective permeable membrane? What is semi-permeable membrane? In semi-permeable membrane, like the solvency is absorbed, the solid is not absorbed. The solid will be not filtered, the solid will be filtered. Semi-permeable membrane. Where we can see the semi-permeable membrane? We can see the semi-permeable membrane in the egg. When we see the boiled egg, when we break the boiled egg, the thin layer is around the egg. The thin layer is around the egg. When egg is boiled properly, we can remove the cell of the egg. It is made up of with calcium carbonate, which is made up of with calcium carbonate. Egg cell is made up of with calcium carbonate. There is a layer, thin layer is there. The white color transparent layer. That cell is called as a semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. How we can take the semi-permeable membrane from the egg? Take one raw egg, or we can take two raw eggs placed into the dilute HCl, hydrochloric acid. So when we are keeping this egg into the dilute HCl, what happens? So it will boil, and through the small pencil, to the needles, we can put a small hole into the egg, pencil hole. So simply by putting a hole, there is a substance is there, it will be boiled. Simply we can remove the layer of the semi-permeable membrane from the egg. It is very difficult to remove for us, but in lab we can do this by using some chemicals, by using some instruments. So simply remove the membrane from the egg. So we need this membrane, this semi-permeable membrane for this activity. Okay, what materials is required for this activity? We need 2 eggs, and we need 3 beakers also. We need beakers. We need sugar. Why we need sugar? For the preparation of saturated solution. Once again, I am using the saturated solution. What is saturated solution? How we will prepare saturated solution? And we need thread. We need measuring jar. Measuring jar. We also need water, and we need water also. We need beakers, water spreads. Finally, we need syringes, disposal syringe. Disposal syringe. There are the materials, but we need glue. We need egg membrane. Two egg membrane. Which one already kept in the dilute HCl for 4 to 5 hours. Remove the eggs from the dilute HCl with the help of spoon. We are not supposed to touch, and we should put a small hole so the egg cell is made up with calcium carbonate is dissolved. When you kept into the dilute HCl, you can put a small hole to remove the semi-permeable membrane from the egg. So these are materials required for this activity. Now come to the experimentations. Procedure. Take a beaker, fill with 100 ml of water in the beaker with the measuring jar. 100 ml of tap water. We need tap water. Now we have to take the semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable membrane. Semi-permeable egg membrane. Fill the semi-permeable egg membrane with the saturated solution, sugar solution, with the help of disposal syringe. Disposal syringe. We cannot pour water directly. With the help of disposal syringe, we can take 10 ml of saturated solution. 10 ml of saturated solution in the semi-permeable membrane. Then tie the mouth of the membrane with the help of thread. Tie the mouth of the membrane with the help of thread. So before that, take 100 ml of tap water in the beaker. So then take a membrane filled with membrane, 10 ml of saturated solution. Tie its mouth. Keep slowly in the beaker containing 100 ml of tap water. Then start observing this experiment for few hours. What happens? We already discussed what is osmosis. In the semi-permeable membrane, in the cell membrane, egg cell membranes, there is a saturated solution is there. Saturated solution is there. But in beaker, there is a 100 ml of tap water is there. The water always moves towards the saturated solution. The waters move from the low concentration to the high concentration. Tap water is less concentration than the saturated solution. That's why the water volumes is increased in the egg cell by the process of osmosis. But now in another experiment, we can see that. Take another beaker. In another beaker, we have to take 100 ml of saturated solution. 100 ml of saturated solution in the beaker. But now take another membrane. Take 10 ml of tap water into the egg cell. 10 ml of water in the saturated water, not saturated water. In the beaker we have taken 100 ml of saturated water, but in the egg cell we have taken 10 ml of tap water. 10 ml of tap water. What happens? Observe here. So the water always moves towards the high concentration, from the low concentration to the high concentration. The water here, what happens? the water move from the egg cell into the beaker, because so the water present in the beaker is high concentration than the water present in the egg cell. That's why by the process of osmosis, the waters move from low concentration to high concentration through the membrane, semi-permeable membrane. This semi-permeable membrane is acting, that it's allowing the substances through the membrane, through the plasma membrane, through the cell membranes. Through the plasma membrane or cell membranes. This is the difference between these two activities. So in first activity, what happens? We have taken the water moving into the egg cell. The water is going away from the egg cell. This is not what endosmosis. The water is going into the cell. The water is leaving away from the cell. That is exosmosis and endosmosis. Very easy experiment. Preparing semi-permeable membrane. So using some materials and the procedures. So in first beaker we have taken 100 ml of tap water and egg cell saturated solution. Second beaker we have taken 100 ml of saturated solution and 10 ml of tap water in egg cells. This is the small differences between the saturated solutions. Now we will discuss. We already discussed the osmosis, and we also discussing the diffusions. How it important to osmosis to living organisms? How it's very, very important to the living organism. Importance of osmosis in living organisms. Importance of osmosis in living organisms. What is osmosis? We already discussed the molecules move from low concentration to the high concentrations. By closing and opening the stomata, osmosis is required. Osmosis is required. If the more sunlight is there, if the more temperature is there, so the stomata automatically closed. The stomata automatically closed. So to absorb the water in the plants by the roots, from the root hairs, so osmosis process takes place in the absorption of water from the roots in the soils. Osmosis is required. Osmosis also useful in exchanging the materials from one cell to the another cell. So one cell or another cell is attached. So the trillions of cells is there in our body. Trillions of cells is there in the plants. To exchange the material, to transport the material, to transport the waters. Through the osmosis, the water will be exchanged. To absorption of nutrients, osmosis process will take place. Absorption of gases, exchanging of gases in the alveoli and the blood capillary. Also, osmosis process and diffusion processes will observe. To remove the waste materials, to excrete the waste materials, also osmosis is required. So this osmosis is very, very important or very, very useful for the living organism. To absorb the water in the plants with the roots and the closing and opening of stomata from the one cell to another cell, transportation of substances to the one cell to the another cells. So the osmosis is required. To absorption of nutrients, absorption of blood So exchanging of gases, osmosis is required. So then what is the uses of diffusion? What is the uses of diffusion? So there are two scientists, Frederick Mercury, David Bowie. Frederick Mercury and David Bowie. These two scientists, they did experiment on the osmosis. They finally discovered the reverse osmosis. What is reverse osmosis? What is reverse osmosis? What is osmosis? The molecules move from the low concentration to the high concentrations. But in reverse osmosis, the molecules move from high concentration to the low concentrations. So there are 3/4 of these. 3/4 of this water is present in the form of oceans. And the 3/4 of water is present in the oceans. In the oceans, water are salty. So the plenty of water is there. There is no water scarcity, but that water is in the form of salt. We cannot drink salty waters. So, but these two scientists, Frederick Mercury and David Bowie, they separated the salt water into the fresh water by desalination. Right? Desalination. Using some instruments, applying some pressure on the salt water, what happens? When they are applied some pressure on the salt water, the waters from the high concentration of salt, it's moved to the low concentration of fresh water. By applying some pressure, so they separated salt and the fresh water. But in reverse osmosis, the molecules moving from high concentration to the low concentration by desalination, by applying pressure on the salt. This process is called as reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis. Next one is, so what is the importance of diffusion? Diffusion. So we know that already. Diffusion. What is diffusion? The molecules move from high concentration to the low concentration. If you spray body spray in the room, in the corner of the room, what happens after a few minutes? This smell will be spread to the entire room. The molecules moving from high concentration to the low concentration by the process of diffusion. For example, if you take a bowl, keep on the burner, the gas bowl. Now what happens? Take some water into the bowl, start boiling it. Now take a powder bowl of KMnO4, potassium permanganate. So take a bowl, keep in the gas, light it. Take water into the bowl, started boiling it. Keep a powder of bowl. Keep the powder of bowl in the center of the waters. The center of the water. What happens? After a few minutes or seconds, this powder bowl is going to start dissolving. What happens? This bowl started dissolving in the water. It will spread into the from center of the water to the corner of the water. After a few minutes, it will spread to the entire water of the bowl by the process of diffusion. The molecules are moving from high concentration to the low concentration. It will spreading to the entire of waters. For example, we can take copper sulfate also. Copper sulfate. We can compare both experiments. Take copper sulfate in the bowl. Copper sulfate crystals in the balls. Crystals in the balls. Now we have to pour some water into the ball, which one already crystals, copper sulfate is present in the balls. What happens? After a few minutes, this crystals is going to dissolve into the water. Dissolve into the water. The water color will be turned. The water color will be turned into color. Colorless to color. Why we have to discuss about this potassium permanganate and constant copper sulfate? We can take, for example, if you take when you are preparing coffee or tea, take a pure white milk into the bowl. Pure white milk into the bowl. Now we have to add this pure white color milk. We are adding a brown or black color coffee powder. Coffee powder in the center of the bowl. In the center of the bowl. So what happens? This coffee powder still remains in the center, or it will be spread. So after a few minutes, what happens? The white color milk will be converted into colorful. So this coffee powders, so these crystals will be spreading to the entire milk. So this is about the diffusion. How the molecules is moving from high concentration to the low concentrations. Okay, students, thank you. So this is today homework is, so the fourth lesson is completed up to here. Okay, so today homework is preparing semi-permeable membrane. Preparing semi-permeable membrane. And the second one is importance of osmosis in living organisms. These both are very, very important for 4 marks question. Importance of osmosis for living organisms. In your workbook or in your textbook, there are some importance of osmosis is there in the living organisms. You have to write the lab activity, and the second question is importance of osmosis in living organisms. Okay, thank you, students.